Howdy fellas, Frankie Days back again on YouTube. Today on YouTube I have the completion of my group build featuring my 1/72nd scale B-18 Bolo bomber. It's time for old Frankie Days to go something else. I will announce that during the viewing of my completion of my build. Okay fellas, here it is right here, the Bolo at its finest right here. It's all completed, it's all done. I got about 56 hours logged in this thing so far. It's all been airbrushed using my special aluminum plate, which is aluminum thinned down with acetone. And that does the overall paint schedule on it. If we kind of take Lazy Susan right there and just kind of spin around a little bit, you get a look at it, how well she glistens. Make no mistake about it, this is definitely early Army Air Corps. This is what my build is actually really targeted at, but there's so much builds out there, you know, that they were pre-war service. The Catalina is one of them, the DH Comet. That was actually the forerunner of the Mosquito bomber and the Westland Whirlwind. As we zoomed in right here, we'll take a closer view of the old Bolo bomber. And we'll spin around a little bit. You can see the front end. I got the turret, nose turret installed. It was masked down using Scotch masking tape, cut with a number 11 blade, airbrushed. Same thing, same treatment was done on the canopy. You got 4 windows. I used the kit's windows, plus the bomb aimer's windows was used. Everything else was used by all the rest of the windows, the small rectangular windows, folks. Was touched up with Eileen's tacky glue. It comes in a gold bottle. Fellas, this Eileen's tacky glue, as I mentioned before in previous videos of mine, is that the stuff is the same chemical composite that is the as microcrystal clear is used, and it dries crystal clear. As you can see, all those windows are done using Eileen's tacky glue. This saves a lot of time in masking. Excuse me, folks. On the big windows, larger windows, the kit windows was used. You can see the bright bar and star, the blue bar and red and white stripes on the tail represents early Army Air Corps. Granted, this aircraft was stationed at Bellows Field in Honolulu, Hawaii. This aircraft and the rest of this nature was destroyed during the attack of Pearl Harbor, leaving only a small handful left in the States. And a lot of them were used as a Digby bomber for Canadian and also English Army Air Corps they used too. Like I mentioned before, this airplane was stricken from the service as early as 1943. As you can see, the wings, the old-fashioned meatball in the center of the star roundels. And you got the reserve group number 16 wing on there, stationed at Bellows Field. As you can see, the bar and stripes on the stabilizer, and also the reserve number 16 on the tail. And there's a dorsal turret right there, which is retractable. It goes up and down, and as you can see, how that crystal clear works very well, fellas. And the engine SL's exhaust has been picked out using red oxide for the exhaust pipes, using a wash of enamel flat black. Completes the exhaust system. The tires all been painted and picked out using a flat white to bring out the tread details. As you can see, the tires right there. It's pretty similar to that as the C-47 DC-3. Same thing, folks. The traction system on this aircraft is the same thing as the DC-3 and C-47. The Bolo bomber was a very interesting airplane for its time. It was thought on the drawing boards at the time. They made a pretty good bomber. The design factor of the aircraft was never realized as war was imminent around the corner. And by the time the Joint Chiefs and also the head of the Army Air Corps was Hap Arnold, considered the aircraft obsolete before the war even got started. So we had to make good use of what we had, fellas, you know, and which we did. It's a shame that we didn't prepare ourselves for more aircraft, but a lot of aircraft was on the drawing board at the time the Bolo was entered service. And that's why the airplane was considered obsolete, was because they had better aircraft coming out of the drawing boards. There's Lord George again right there with his big old stogie, thumbs up. I'm a big ham, guys. I gotta get my face in the picture to know I'm still alive. And we'll zoom in again. We'll take a look-see, get some more detail on it. The bomb was winning the bottom of the fuselage and nose, fellas, where the turret's at, all been masked down using Scotch tape. It was the bear to do. But they got the job done. I highly recommend using Scotch tape as a window masking agent. That way you can be able to see the framework, and you'll be able to just cut around the windows and remove the frames, and there you go, airbrush. You're good to go. I like the checker, the black, yellow, and black checkers around the Nassau cowlings, and that's pretty typical of that era. You have the group commander's warning band on the side of the fuselage, which is red. You can see that loop right behind the canopy. That's the RDF, or that's rangefinder loop right there. You had 2 radio masks on here. Landing lights all been installed. And that completes the build, fellas. And my group is terminated on my part. So we got the Mad Modeler up